And to safety and health also counts for safety and health also counts that you have enough players available who can play on that level. We can also not put a kid in that is not ready, and then we put him on risk. So where are the players? We really credit to everyone who is working on those protocols. We even have a return to training protocol where somebody has to do a max test first, and we have to see is his body even up or ready to tolerate a certain amount of load. We have done that today with a few players. And those who had never had symptoms, we have also a few that never had symptoms. So, and we will continue to do this, and we will continue to update the league. We have an email chat with them, and Jim Bovard and the infection disease expert of British Columbia is on that. I'm myself and some deciders on the league side. And the emails are going back and forth there. I think we had today at least 10 emails with updates from our side and some additional questions from MLS side. So I think that's what I mean. If I think no one is really panicking or concerned, because it feels like this is approached in a very good and reasonable way. And if there is a decision to be made, then I think then no one is shy of making the decision, because then all informations are available to make this decision.
Thank you, Michael. And we asked if you have one question and one follow-up. We'll move it on to Har next, please.
Thank you, Nathan. Welcome home, Axel. It's not the surprise you were expecting. In terms of the match on Sunday, what is the club's current stance? Would you like that game postponed?
I don't think that there's our clear stand is, and unfortunately I have to stay that way. If we have enough healthy and fit players available, we want to play it, of course. And that's what it is. I don't think no one ever wants not to play a game if he thinks he has a group together that is ready to compete in this game. And I really want to separate that from the fact that some other players are not available. So we have to compare it with the situation that we have been in already anyway. And so we have to see if from the remaining players, I would say almost everyone is ready and available, and then we obviously want to play the game. That's just what it is. And I think also we have a lot of players who were looking forward to play this game and to prove themselves. And there would also be a lot of disappointment if, for the discussed reasons, we would not be able to play the game.
Axel, in terms of players and staff, what is the number? Can you give us how big scale-wise it's impacting the club?
Yeah, it's more than 50% of the people that have been on the plane, but there were more staff members than players on the plane. But I think it's also pretty fair to say that it was more than 50% of the players. That's more or less the number. Also, we had one additional staff member who had symptoms last night at 2:30 a.m. So I'm very careful here to provide a number, because I really hope that we have the final number. And we also have tested everyone, and then we also have to find out has everyone exactly the same reason for the issues you always have. If on the other trips when we were coming back from Mexico and it was also super hot, and things are different there. We also had one or other player who didn't feel great for a day, and now of course you put everything together in one box, and for that reason we have also tested everyone, and we will know as soon as we have all final results.
Thank you.
Thank you, Har. We'll go to next. We'll go to Gemma, and then Felipe. Gemma.
Hi, Axel. Can you tell us whether anyone was feeling ill during the game?
In hindsight, everyone felt ill during the game. I don't think everyone has raised symptoms that were even close to the symptoms that they had on that we have then seen Monday evening, Tuesday. So yes, I want to be a little bit careful here because you might hear from the one or other player that he said, "Oh, I had already a weird feeling in my stomach or whatever before the game." But I would say if no one would have got ill, they would have had the feeling and they would have said it's just maybe nervosity or something else. And that happens also if we play in Toronto or in Austin and at certain games. So yes, some players have raced after that. They already on match day felt a little bit, but I would say our indication is still that the group has completely been together and everyone has eaten the same and from the same buffets, and there was never something different. And that includes me and Dave Durer or Nash or also those who have no symptoms. And then it feels like something happened after the game, and then on the flight in the plane it was somehow transmitted. But now I'm a little bit in the speculations that I didn't really want to go to. So my answer to that is unlikely. It was already there during the game.
And can you talk about just how unusual something like this is?
Yeah, the thing is, it is unusual because normally everyone is very careful and you have a lot of good protocols in place. But if it happens in a team, then it is very usual that it spreads out because we're sticking so close together, use the same showers, same restrooms. We are on the plane, we're 70 people or 75 people on the plane, and you know how a situation is on a plane with washrooms, and you fly 6 hours. So, and we feel a little bit like a family. If we are all together in our building, in our hotel, in our plane, in the buses, then we treat everyone like our family, and you don't have a lot of distance and I would say a caution protocol. So for that reason, in my experience in 26 years now, I had it a few times, and then every time when it broke out, it immediately became a big thing, and so many different individuals have been infected. But in general, luckily, it doesn't happen that often.
Thank you, Gemma. We'll go to Felipe next, please.
Hey, Axel. I know you mentioned that it roughly was hitting about 50% of the players as well as with staff. I'm curious to see how is that affecting, you don't have to name specific names, but since we know so many players are going in international duty, how is that affecting those specific players? And I know you said you had conversation with international health, like the health team from the national teams. How is that sort of developing now that that's an added fold to this kind of this outbreak?
Yeah, it has. I would say it spread it over them as well. It's the same. It is almost everywhere the same percentage. Somehow, it's something that we also have to understand why it impacts another 50% not. That you have to also look at the other way around. Oops. Said that we have connected with the national teams, and they have done their precautions, and we had a few guys that could come in today that have been that had never symptoms, and we have a few guys that might return tomorrow, and that's the same for the national teams. Luckily, I think everyone is fine and ready to play still the games. Anyway, everyone had like 2 days off after this big load on Sunday. And so far, I haven't heard that it had a bigger impact to any more than maybe a training session at the national team level as well.
And then I know...
And again, it feels like that everyone who wasn't traveling back had less impact. So the national team players, most of them were not traveling back with us. So most of them had way less or no symptoms.
Okay, good. And I know that you guys were